Hello and welcome to Newsbeats on NITV. I am Oluchi Madu. First, the headlines. Federal government reacts to BBC documentary on Lagos. EFCC promises to catch Ibori. Youths decried Babangida's statements. ANPP asks MOD to step down. And Senate approves new ministerial nominees. All this in a moment. The Nigerian federal government on Wednesday protested against a documentary on Lagos aired by the British Broadcasting Corporation, which portrayed the commercial city as a slum. The documentary was entitled Welcome to Lagos. It was broadcast on BBC Two in the United Kingdom on April the 15th. A protest letter by Nigeria's High Commissioner to the UK, Dr. Dalhatu Tafida, was sent to the controller of BBC Two, Ms. Janice Hadlow, in Glasgow, UK. A copy of the protest letter was made available to the news agency of Nigeria, said amongst other things that the Nigeria High Commission would like to register its strong rejection of the documentary as a deliberate distortion of life in Lagos. Tafida also said that the documentary was an attempt to bring Nigeria and its hard-working people to international scorn. He noted that the High Commission could not understand the motives behind the documentary, especially at a time when Nigeria was celebrating the Golden Jubilee of its independence from the British government. Tafida said that by not airing other aspects of life in the city, including their refusal to document the excellent performance of the incumbent governor of the state, Governor Babatunde Fashola, the BBC demonstrated a lack of balance and fairness. A group of protesters called True Face of Lagos visited the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mrs. Farida Waziri, at the EFCC headquarters in Abuja on Wednesday, the 21st of April. While addressing the protesters and journalists, she said the EFCC was mapping out a fresh strategy to arrest former Delta State Governor Chief James Ibori, as she said the impression that Ibori was above the law was unacceptable. Mrs. Farida admitted that militants chased a combined team of EFCC operatives and policemen who were in Chief Ibori's country home in Orara, Delta State, to arrest him on Tuesday and challenged the ex-governor to answer the EFCC's invitation if he was indeed innocent. On the next line of action, Ms. Farida said she and her team were going back to the drawing board with the Inspector General of Police to decide what next to do. The group visited the EFCC boss to find out the state of their petition against the Lagos State government. Leader of the group, Comrade Adesina Adebayo, felt disappointed that Lagos State had been excluded from the anti-graft war in recent times, despite the petition that the group wrote to the EFCC on the allegations of corrupt practices allegedly being committed in the state. In her response to this, Waziri said the commission received the said petition and was still working on it. Former military President General Ibrahim Babangida was recently reported to have said during an interview on the British Broadcasting Corporation that no Nigerian youth was capable of ruling the country. A group of Nigerian youths on Wednesday during a protest in Abuja x-rayed the recent anti-youth comments and have promised to mobilize against him should he decide to go ahead and contest the 2011 presidential election. Speaking on behalf of the protesters, the Vice President National Youth Council of Nigeria, Marvin Yubana, referred to Babangida's reported statement as regrettable and declared that the ex-general became president of Nigeria at 44 when he was still in his youth, which made it very sad that such a comment should come from him. The leadership of the All Nigeria People's Party is planning to meet with acting President Goodluck Jonathan concerning Senator Joy Emodi's refusal to vacate her seat in the Senate after her election had been nullified by the Court of Appeal. The party said Senate President David Mark could aid illegality by still accepting Emodi as a representative of Anambra North when the last court of jurisdiction, the Court of Appeal, had pronounced Mr. Alphonsus Igbeke of the ANPP as rightful winner and asked Emodi to vacate her seat with immediate effect. Senator Emodi, however, surprised many by appearing at the Senate on Tuesday, the 20th of April, taking the seats which she had hitherto vacated. Spokesperson for the ANPP, Mr. Ima Enioku, said that Mark's refusal to inaugurate Igbeke was wrong and in line with what he called the philosophy of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to deny other parties the benefits of their efforts. He also said Igbeke had been issued with a certificate of return by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The Senate on Wednesday approved 2 additional ministerial nominees sent to it by Acting President Goodluck Jonathan. The ministers are Professor Christian Chukwu from Ebonyi State and Mr. Obadiah Ando from Taraba State. Both states were the only states without nominees in the last ministerial screening in March. The appointments were confirmed after a screening session conducted by the Senate. Senate President David Mark charged the new ministers to justify their appointments by being diligent at the discharge of their duties. In the course of the screening, Professor Chukwu, who is a medical doctor, said on the ideal qualifications of a health minister that since the minister is merely an overseer appointed to formulate and implement policies of the government, any politician who has the managerial and administrative experience could undertake the responsibility, even if he were not a professional in the field of medicine. And that's it on NITV's News Bits. Thanks for logging on.